Scroll Toyota, leading the way every day. And Scroll Toyota, symbols of trust.
49-year-old Daniel Untalan Mesa made what Guam police called a pipe bomb, which was found Friday night in the garage of a home where he lived on Pa Asen Drive in Agana Heights. The Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms, ATF, called it an improvised explosive device, an IED, and according to the complaint filed in federal court on Saturday, Mesa admitted that he made the bomb for, quote, experimental purposes. It is the latest high-profile bust by the Violent Street Crimes Task Force, led by the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms. The unit is made up of members of the GPD Special Investigations Division, GPD SWAT, and Guam Customs. George Maston is the ATF agent in charge for Guam.
These investigations, even though I can't talk specifically about these investigations, they're part of ongoing investigations that have just either come to a certain phase where arrests were needed and search warrants were needed, or they were the end of these investigations.
So it's sort of coincidental that so many have happened so recently.
That's correct.
Beyond the homemade bomb, the task force Friday night seized from Mesa's home a Norinco rifle, a .357 caliber Marlin rifle, serial number obliterated, an .870 Remington shotgun known as a Wingmaster 12 gauge, serial number also obliterated, and a .30-30 caliber Marlin rifle. The guns were all concealed in a false wall within Mesa's bedroom, and Mesa told the ATF that he also had a .45 caliber pistol located with ammunition in a storage locker in the garage. That weapon was also seized. Mesa is a convicted felon and is not allowed to possess firearms, and the guns were not the only thing found. Guam police say 15 grams of crystal meth were also seized from Mesa's home. Mesa told investigators that he got the guns by trading meth for them, the latest example of the intersection of ice and crime.
It is becoming a larger problem, and with the increase of methamphetamine use, we do usually see an increase in violent crime. It usually causes the users to commit violent crime, robberies, burglaries, assaults, related to the mid-level drug trafficking.
The Mesa bust Friday night came hard on the heels of a Friday morning bust at a Tamuning home, from which two of the suspects admitted that they sold ice. The four charged in Superior Court Saturday, 46-year-old Brian Anthony Perez, 45-year-old Patrick Paul Perez, 43-year-old Elizabeth Ann Borja, and Joe Agulto. According to the magistrate's report, both Brian and Patrick Perez admitted to police that they sold ice from the residence, which is located within a designated drug-free school zone, just 250 feet from a school bus stop. This bust was also the work of the Violent Crimes Task Force.
The Violent Street Crimes Task Force exists to try to focus on the crime that occurs because of drugs and drug use and mid-level drug trafficking, where we'll have people who have become, because of their addictions, have become dealers to try to supply themselves with narcotics, or they've had to turn to committing violent crimes to try to subsidize their drug abuse.
A third case surfaced last Friday afternoon in the magistrate's complaint filed in Superior Court. A drug investigation and a separate probe into the theft of a handgun owned by a Guam customs officer led to the arrest of two men accused of selling ice, burglary, and other charges. 34-year-old Christopher Vincent Pokaigui Cepeda, charged with illegal possession of the drug ice with intent to deliver, and his nephew, 19-year-old Harlan Jude Pokaigui, also charged with burglary, theft of a firearm, possession of a firearm without an ID, as well as illegal possession of ice with intent to deliver.
A large portion of the violent crime that exists anywhere is unfortunately due to the use and abuse and addiction of methamphetamine. I can tell you that all of the law enforcement leadership on island and the Attorney General and the U.S. Attorney's Office is in a partnership to try to make this our main focus.
Kevin Kerrigan, PNC News.